That old Yorkshire geek with stories to unfold. Keep your eyes wide open and your soul won't grow cold. In the realm of the strange and the fantastical, lost in the dark, but it's light so magical.
Hey up, it's Steve from the Old Yorkshire Geek, and it's time to review Episode 4 of Season 3 of Star Trek Strange New Worlds. This one's called A Space Adventure Hour, and it is a blatant rip-off of, well, many episodes of not only Star Trek but other things, but the TNG Season 2 episode Elementary Dear Data. It just rips it off. Shamelessly, some might say. And there's bits in it that are going to anger a lot of fans. There's a homage to the original series, which I think a lot of fans are going to just see as like insulting the original series. I didn't like it, but I didn't mind the episode as a whole, to be completely honest. I did quite enjoy it, but we're going to go through it. But before we start all that, don't forget to like and subscribe, share the videos, drop a comment, hit the notification bell if you're subscribed already. Explore the description for links for stuff like merch, which I'm not wearing, my books, Amazon Kindle and paperback, and other stuff like my music channel and my other websites, mercuryrapids.co.uk, thatoldyorkshiregeek.co.uk, etc., and my social media pages and stuff like that. So there we go. Or become a member like these cool people wherever they are, and then you get early access videos and exclusive videos and stuff like that. And super chats and super thanks and super stickers and all that stuff would be greatly appreciated. Keeping the lights on, as they say, because prices and costs are not going down, are they? But anyway, that's by the by. Right, so let's get into this episode, shall we? And I'll give you my thoughts as we go through it. Right, so we begin. We've had a recap, by the way. We've had a recap. Basically telling us, reminding us that Spock and Christine are not a couple anymore, or that they're not in love anymore. I think they've broken up because she's with Roger Corby now, isn't she? Anyway, so it's just reminding us about that. And then, bang, we're into this that goes on for quite a while, to be completely honest. It's supposed to look like a 60s, goofy sci-fi series, but they're obviously riffing on the original series, even though it doesn't look much like the original series. It looks like something like, I don't know, Time Tunnel or Lost in Space, one of those sort of things, rather than Star Trek. But Paul Wesley is here as Lieutenant James T. Kirk, obviously doing an impression of William Shatner and looking a lot like a cross between, I think I've said this before, James Corley, who runs that Ticonderoga original series Star Trek set tour. He did some fan films way back, but he played Captain Kirk in fan films many years ago, and Jim Carrey doing Captain Kirk in Living Colour. He's kind of doing that. I imagine he thinks he's doing a loving homage to William Shatner, but I imagine there's going to be a lot of Star Trek fans are not going to be happy with this impression, because he's doing all the, I am known for my diction, and he's giving it all that. But anyway, so he's playing the captain of whatever ship, I can't remember what ship they're on, and Christine's being this officer, and we're also going to see Erica Ortegas, but they're not actually playing these characters. It's not them, by the way. This is what we're seeing here is from an actual TV series. But it's not. It's from a holodeck program. So is the series... I don't know. Can you get the series in the holodeck? That's what I'm trying to ask. Because it doesn't make sense. It doesn't make sense. What we're seeing here, it's not them on the holodeck playing these characters. We're going to see these characters later on, or the actors and actresses playing these characters, because there is a series called Some Journey into Space or something like that. I can't remember what it's called. Space Journey, something, I don't know. And these, there's going to be actors playing these parts. like Star Trek. It's too much like Star Trek. So anyway, so here we are. This goes on for ages. They've got to deal with some aliens who look rubbish. There we go. Obviously, hands on sticks and stuff, and they're not even trying to hide it. And I thought actually this was going to be another one of the Strange New Worlds cast, but it isn't. She's got a thing in the end saying what Angosians or whatever the hell they call them. Somebody I've never heard of. Anyway, so they've got to deal with that, blah blah blah, and he's giving it all this full kirk. And they want their brain cells. We can't let them have our brain cells, but they get their brain cells somehow, and they say we need to get our brain cells back. In an obvious reference, I think it is anyway, to Spock's brain. But anyway.
Brain and brain. What is brain?
And there he is looking. It just. I'm trying to think now. He reminds me of with that look. Oh, Galaxy Quest. He looks like Tech Sergeant Chen. He does that look, doesn't he, in Galaxy Quest? Anyway, and then we cut to some bad special effects. Although the planet looks cool, but yet the ship looks rubbish. But anyway, and here it is. Look, the USS Adventure 20-1. Is that supposed to be relevant? I don't know. But anyway, there we go. The Last Frontier. That's what it's called. Why does it say Space Journey? I don't know. But it does say that somewhere. I'm sure it does. It says or Adventure or whatever. Anyway, whatever. The Last Frontier. Created by T.K. Bellows. Blah, blah, blah. And it's telling who they are. Look. Right, then we get into the actual episode. The real life episode. The Enterprise is monitoring a neutron star that's going to do its neutron star stuff, eject matter and all that stuff. There it is. But you'd think, well, they were doing that, they wouldn't. I think that they think it's not important what's going on. So the captain is letting La'an, or is ordering La'an to test out a new feature on the Enterprise, which Starfleet is thinking of rolling out on, in all the ships. A recreation room, which we did see in the animated series.
Well, what'll it be? A swim at the beach?
But then we're told it's shortened to Holodeck, so they're just going straight into it. They're not bothering with the original series or the animated series interpretation of it. It's bang, it's just the Holodeck. So she's testing it out. It's prototype Holodeck. Right, so that's going to anger fans as well, saying it's way too early. Which it is. It is way too early. Because you remember, in Encounter at Farpoint, Riker was amazed by the Holodeck when he went on board, as though it was something new. I think they had seen them before, but nothing like, the amount of realism that there was. But this one's going to look pretty bloody real that they're going to. Anyway, she's tasked with testing it out and told to, be rigorous and vigorous with her testing. So that's her orders. So she's essentially going to do a date, or what Geordie wanted. She's going to want it to give her, a challenge worthy of her skill, just like in Elementary Dear Data. Anyway, thankfully, she's got proper hair on this week as number one. Although it is very, there's a lot of product in it. It is very, it looks so, it's like Lego hair. It's like sitting, it doesn't move, and it's like a cape or a cowl she's wearing. But it looks better than last week's. Last week's were bloody awful. But anyway, she's back to her lovely self. Anyway, right, so is it me, or is this season we don't see Pike is in all the episodes, obviously, but is it more about Pike is just there and it's more about the people around him? I'm getting that impression. I'm probably wrong, it's just the impression I'm getting. Anyway, this is a La'an episode, and that's fine by me, because I think Christina Chong's super hot. Anyway, so she just walks into this room. At first I thought it was Spock's quarters. Is it? I don't know. Or is it just another rec room? I don't know. But he's practicing his dancing. No, it's Spock's quarters, isn't it? Because he's got his stuff there. She just walked in. She didn't even ring the bell. She just walked in. And he didn't pick her up on it. Anyway, There we go, they're doing a tango, and that for some reason I like watching them dance, but because I don't know, something she's very fluid. Maybe I'm falling in love. Anyway, we see that she's got a thing on her neck to monitor her brain or whatever, her brain cells. I don't know, but she's doing all that. And there was Spock's speaking, and all I hear, Ethan Peck's a fine actor, I presume, and he does look a bit like Spock. But all I hear from him when he's talking is that's all I hear. You Mr. Scotch, that's all I hear when I hear him speaking. I've no room to talk. I know I've got a stupid accent. People don't understand what I'm saying, but I'm not an actor. Anyway, that's by the by. Right, so they're practicing their dancing, and off they go. Oh, she's gone to talk to Mr. Scott. And somebody has pointed out, Mr. Scott is a bit young in this, isn't he? Scotty, in the original series, was a bit older, wasn't he, than... I think he was supposed to be, anyway. A bit older than Captain Kirk. So when was Scotty born? 22, so yes, so he's about 10 years-ish, give or take. 11 years. Older than Captain Kirk. And obviously this Scotty is not 10 years older. 11, whatever. We'll call it 10. We'll round it down to 10. 10 years older than Paul Wesley, is he? He's not. He's obviously younger. So they've got that wrong for a start, haven't they? Which is why this is an alternate universe. This isn't the prime universe. So, which is why I sound like a Geordie then, didn't I? This is why man. This is why oh God, I can't help myself. Cut it a lot of slack because it's not in the same universe. Although I didn't do the same for Discovery. That annoyed the hell out of me. But anyway, which is, I think, officially, canonically in a separate universe, isn't it now, thanks to Lower Decks. Sort of. But anyway. Right, she's talking about Amelia Moon. Trying to find a way for her to test the holodeck. Rec room, whatever you want to call it. And she decides on Amelia Moon, who is a fictional detective along the lines of Jessica Fletcher in Murder, She Wrote. It's those sort of things. So she was given books when she was on the ship that were attacked by the Gorn. The captain of that ship gave her Amelia Moon books, and she fell in love with the stories. So he's looked in the database. They've got hundreds of Amelia Moon books, so they've got enough for him to do a holodeck program, recreation, whatever you want to call it. There we go, 112 of them in the database, so enough for him to do a recreation. But anyway, meanwhile, by the way, remember the Enterprise is still doing things. It's monitoring this neutron star, it's launching probes and all that stuff. And the neutron star is later on is going to get up to shenanigans. Anyway, so off she goes. Look, she's got dressed in appropriate 1960s gear. Although I don't know, is that 1960s gear? I don't know, but she's dressed up. And there it is, looking very much like the TNG holodeck. You'd have thought they changed it a bit, wouldn't you? I mean, they even changed the holodecks in the Berman era, from ship to station and all that stuff. They all look different. The ones in the Enterprise looked like that. The ones in Voyager looked a little bit different, didn't they? They had a little, more stuff going on in the lines. And obviously you had the ones on Deep Space Nine were completely different because they were holosuites, but that's by the by. Anyway, so Spock offers his help, and she says, no, it's a single-player game, I'm going in by myself. So off she goes, run program, and there it begins. So she's going to get on with it now. It's a murder mystery she's got to solve. So anyway, right, first off, and they're using for some reason, for costs. So they have to hire a load of other actors. But he gets it on a pad, showing us all. They use the likenesses of the main crew. Did they get permission? That's usually a thing, isn't it? But anyway, so we're going to see the main cast playing all these different characters, which is nice for them to stretch their acting feet, so to speak. And again, Uhura's showing off her ample cleavage, which is fine by me. But anyway, so she's playing an agent. This is a Hollywood story, by the way, connected with what we saw at the beginning. that Last Frontier TV show. Anyway, so she's gone there. She's not a police woman. She's like a private detective, and she called her in before the police get there and sell the story to the rags, the Hollywood rags. Anyway, because somebody's dead, and there he is. It's it's called Tony Hart. Is the fellow that's dead. If you're British, you know who Tony Hart is or was. But he's dead. We find that he's been strangled to death, and there's ripped up papers all over contracts, a contract and a screenplay and stuff like that. So it's all clues lying about. So she gathers them all together. It's a bit like an Agatha Christie or one of those Ryan Johnson films. I forgot what they call them now. Haven't seen them. Them murder mystery Ryan Johnson films. I forgot what they're called. I'm guessing it's supposed to be like one of them. I don't know. But anyway, so there they are. There we've got Jess Bush and Babs, and there's Melissa Navier, and obviously Rebecca Romaine, and there's Paul Wesley. So they're all playing the actors in the show. And we learned that the show maybe we're going to get cancelled. So she said cancelled, but where a hit? And anyway, so she's got to question them all about it. Blah blah blah. She's got a clue. It's a glass that were there. It were there in the murder room, so to speak. So somebody with red lipstick was there when Tony Hart was murdered. So she goes through them all, and the only one with that colour lipstick is her, Sonny Lupino, number 1. So she's the number 1 suspect, and she's got another clue that she was having an affair with Tony Hart. And there's Anson Mount as he's the writer. He's T.K. Bellows, the writer of the series. Anyway, and apparently she wanting the series to continue. So she did the deal with the mob. This is La'anne's theory. So she did the deal with the mob to get money to pay for a second season, and she bumped off Tony Hart. I think he was the producer or something, so that he wouldn't get cancelled, because he was going to cancel it. That's her theory, but apparently that's not true. So she has a drink and then she keels over dead. She's been poisoned. So anyway, so she's wondering what's going on. So she decides to get Spock in to help. So here he comes. I'm here to assist. So good Detective Spock. Meanwhile, on the real Enterprise outside the holodeck, we learn that they're having power trouble, energy problems, brownouts and stuff, and lights flickering. Obviously, it's the holodeck, isn't it? We all know it's the holodeck that's causing it. Anyway. And Scotty's trying to sort it all out because Commander Pellier's not there. She's on leave. What's the point of having her? But anyway, so he's running around. Has he got no other staff? There just seems to be him there in engineering. But or is this a science lab? I don't know. But anyway, he's trying to sort it all out. Anyway. She's talking to clues. She notices he's got like a bracelet on, and there were an identical one near the dead body, so that makes him another suspect. That he were having an affair with somebody's secretary or something. I don't bloody know. But anyway, so we go on. They're all suspects, but none of them had anything to do with it, basically. But she's got to find out who the murderer is. And it turns out that yes, by the way, she's talking with Spock here, trying to work it out. But then the chandelier falls. There's like you see it tinkling, and then he pulls her out of the way. The chandelier falls. And I was thinking, they don't mention. Why don't they say what would have happened if that had hit me? What are the holodeck safeties working? But then he notices. There we go. She's got a cut. So then she says, aren't the safeguards in the holodeck? I shouldn't be injured. And so they realise now, or she realises now, that something's wrong with the holodeck. It's obviously doing what it can to beat her, much like in Elementary Dear Data, when Moriarty were given enough power to control the Enterprise. By the way, Spock's acting a bit weird for reasons. There we go, they can't get out. Computer Arch, why does say computer exit? That's what I'd say. Because she tries, like, computer end program, it doesn't work. He says computer Arch. Because he thinks he's Moriarty. But you can say exit, can't you? But anyway, never mind. Right, so Scotty goes over to Uhura. Well, we've got to admit, with this hair, looks astonishingly gorgeous. I must admit, when we see her from the frontier, when she smiles, my heart is melting. I've got to tell you. But he's saying, see, he's asking her, he's saying, a hypothetical situation. If I couldn't get in touch with people on the holodeck, and if maybe the ship were taking loads of power and channel it into the holodeck, and the safeties sometime were off, could I find a way to get in touch with the people in the holodeck, hypothetically speaking? And she says, yes, we'll work it out. So they're on the case. They know what's going on. But anyway, so there we go. And then she's got to solve a murder mystery. So she's got to not die. She's got to solve the mystery and not die. Anyway, right, so let's say they're all arguing amongst themselves, and now somebody else is dead now. Is it the Doctor? I think it's the Doctor. Yeah, Melissa Navia's character, who we called the Doctor. I can't remember the name of the character. I can't remember. But she's dead. She's been stabbed in the back with a letter opener or whatever. So now, Uhura's now... Not Uhura. I forgot her name now. Celia Rose Gooding is now a suspect, but she doesn't stay a suspect for long. Anyway, then she finds the fireplace suddenly comes to life, but there's no heat coming from it. And then she finds all these film reels, what they call it, celluloid. That's what they called it, celluloid. Which wasn't used, which fell out of favour in the 22nd century. So it's going for a while, isn't it? But no TV. TV faded out in the mid 21st century, according to Star Trek, didn't it? But movies and film went on till the 22nd century. So good for film. Anyway, that we'll find that's what he was strangled with. A roll of film, so they're going to have to watch this because there's clues on the film as to what happened. Anyway, there we go. Neutron star collapse is imminent. It's going to give off loads of gamma rays, and then suddenly they find they've got no shields, they can't manoeuvre, anything like that. Sensors are overloading, so they're all going to die in a few minutes when the gamma rays hit them. So Scotty's got to try and sort it out, and I don't know why they just don't hit reverse, but anyway. Did that in the original series, didn't they? That emergency reverse warp or whatever, didn't they? In Balance of Terror. But no, she's the head down, because for some reason these gamma rays are just coming out on a single plane, more or less. Most of it. It wouldn't be though, would it? If it were a burst of energy, it'd come out all at once, wouldn't it? In all directions. But anyway, never mind. So anyway, they're out of danger for the moment. So she's trying to work out. Right, anyway, they're showing what were on the film. They found a projector. It's Hollywood. Everybody had a projector in the 60s, I'm guessing. And they're watching what were on the film, the film reel, and it's the filming of the scene that we saw at the beginning, but not just that. It's outtakes as well, because they keep rolling. They even said that in the film. They're acting out the scene. There we go. Then we go cut, and somebody says, it says there, keep rolling, so we can see what happens after the cut. So we're seeing all that. So it's like behind the scenes, found footage even. But and then Scotty appears with the telephone, and I think we're learning he's getting fired or something. It's TK Bellows, but then Scotty goes up to it and it's there. Look, you can't do that. What is it? It's not a good time. You can't do that. I am the show. Anyway, then Scotty comes up to the screen when he storms off. I'm pressing the wrong button. There we go. Scotty comes up to the screen. And I don't know if you'll see this, but you've got to do all this, that, and the other. You've got to solve the mystery, and the program will shut down. Anyway. So that's what they've got to do. But then Bellows comes in with a gun, and he says he didn't kill him, but he's still fed up because he quit or something. Or they had got a second season, but they didn't want him or something. I can't really remember. It's not important. But he blames her. He says it's her. And this did remind me of Murder, She Wrote. It's the old, I killed them all meme that's going around with Jessica Fletcher. Because everywhere she goes, there's a murder, and that's what he says to her. Everywhere you go, there's a murder. But anyway. But I'm just here to help. But anyway. But he runs off. But Spock gets shot. The gun goes off. She fights him for the gun, and the gun goes off. And shoots Spock, but he's fine. And he's shot in the arm, and he's okay. And she hugs him because in this episode we see that she's kind of falling in love with Spock, and I think Spock's got feelings for her. But he's been all cold, and she realises now that it's not Spock, and Spock is the killer, or not really. The program is the killer, and Spock is the program. There we go. The holodeck wanted to fool her into getting one of the other characters to think that one of the other characters was the killer, but it was the holodeck itself, the program itself was the killer, and she sussed it out, and he says, "Congratulations, you have won." I think he says something like that. He says, "End program," and it all goes off, and everything's back to normal, thank goodness. Anyway, so she says, "Well, it's cool, is the holodeck, and it's got a lot of potential, but it's kind of too dangerous. It takes too much power from a starship." Because at the beginning she said, they take a lot of power. Fair enough having them on star bases or on planets and stuff, but on a ship they use up too much power. And she says, "I don't think they should put them, on starships just yet. Maybe they've got to work out some way to have their own power source separate from." The rest of the ship, which is kind of what they did. We kind of mentioned that in Voyager, didn't it? That the holodeck power was separate to the rest of the ship. But anyway, so there we go. She's number one is telling Scotty that he shouldn't do things by himself. He's got to delegate, basically. If he's going to be running engineering. But anyway, so he tells a story about his last CO and how he told his last CO about something, and that she said she'd take care of it, but she didn't, and it caused, I don't know, and then the Gorn arrived and all that stuff. But anyway, they go back. She goes back to Spock, real Spock this time, and they carry on their dancing lesson. She got high heels on and stuff. But this is where they're going to be an item, because they fall in love, because they do a sexy tango and all that. And I'm kind of reminded of True Lies. So that's it, being very sensual, and she's rubbing her leg up and down him and all that. And anyway, they do embrace, and there we go. And the kiss. So Spock's now in a relationship with La'an. He's a hound, isn't he? He's Spock in this. T'Pring, Chapel, now La'an. Bloody hell. The episode ends, but then we get outtakes over the credits. It's supposed to be fun and funny, but it's not really, because this kind of annoys me, this bit. As I said, he tries to do a Riker manoeuvre over the chair, Brexit. Because this episode, I forgot to mention, was directed by Jonathan Frakes. So that's why he's doing the Riker manoeuvre there. And it's all funny, blah, blah, blah. And then it ends. And nice little thing, they got the end credits in the original TOS font, which is nice. So there we go. So that's the end of that episode. So there we go. All in all, even though it was super derivative, we've seen it before in Star Trek, Elementary Dear Data, he rips off that. Galaxy Quest, it rips off. I'm saying rips off. Homages. Murder, She Wrote. And a ton of other stuff. I still kind of enjoyed the episode. As I said, I cut a lot of slack for Strange New Worlds, which I really shouldn't do, I suppose, but I just do because I just kind of like it. So this is my favourite episode of the season so far. I give it like 7.5 out of 10. Last week's I gave 7, so I'll give this one a 7.5. I did quite enjoy it, even though it was a bit eye rolly at times, and I can see how some fans are going to hate it. Paul Wesley's impression of William Shatner, for one, but the use of the holodeck way too early, even though they're trying to link it in with the animated series, which we did see in there, the recreation room. But anyway, yeah. But that's it. I did enjoy it. It's interesting how the relationships moving about on the Enterprise. Spock's always got a chick, and he's always moving from woman to woman. What is it with him? What is it with Vulcans? I mean, they're not Klingons, are they? You know what I mean? But maybe, I don't know. But they all fall in love with him, don't they? They all do. So yeah, we'll see where. I bet that relationship's doomed anyway, because she's believing much. He stays on the Enterprise when Captain Kirk comes in. When is it? 5 years at least, isn't it? At least 5 years, or thereabouts. But I've heard that what they're going to do, maybe, I can't remember who said this now. Where did I see it? Was it Jay at Tachyon Pulse podcast? Yeah, I think it was Jay, was saying that he's heard that the plan was to do like the 5-year mission before the original series. Apparently, according to Jay, the plan is that what we saw in Star Trek began in year 2, not year 2, the second 5-year mission of the Enterprise. He did 5 years before the original series, and then he did 3 years, and then the animated series to get to the end of the 5-year mission, didn't he? So I think that's the logic they're going by, I think. But anyway, so is Kirk gonna get his promotion to captain within a year or two? Because we're in 2161 now, aren't we? So we're 5 years now from when the original series started in 2266. Anyway, that's by the by. That's me waffling and just spreading out the length of this episode, which means people won't watch it because they'll get fed up. But anyway, we'll leave it there. As I said, I did quite enjoy the episode, even though it was very derivative. Did roll my eyes quite a bit, but I don't know. I still enjoyed it, and I can't say I didn't. I can't lie and say I hated it, even though I kind of wanted to. I'm not wanting to enjoy this season, to be completely honest. I'm sure I'll hate the Vulcan episode. I don't know when that is. When is the Vulcan episode coming up? It's in episode 8. I'm guessing it is anyway, because episode 8 is called 4.5 Vulcan. I'm planning on hating it. We will see if I do or not. We'll leave it there. We're all done and dusted. So, thanks for watching, wherever you are. Live long and prosper, and until next time, I'll say there.
That old Yorkshire geek with stories to